Hello and welcome to the Cardiac Cats YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Shorba, and we got a quick one here as we have learned news, and this is pretty much obvious it was going to be coming around this time, that the Jaguars are parting ways with assistant GM Ethan Waugh. So, as a reminder, Ethan Waugh was not fired at the end of the year. He came in to the interim GM role while they did the head coach search and went into the GM search eventually for James Gladstone. So he was heavily involved in that, helping them find someone. He was one of their finalists for the GM job. And ultimately, Gladstone got it, which was great, and we all are very excited about that still. And we haven't really seen Waugh a whole lot since then. And so this was kind of known that once we got through draft season, and once the Jaguars could really start rebuilding their staff and go fully into it, right? With the scouting staff, with the organizational structure, there's still things they have not been able to do yet, that this move was going to be coming. Now, Ethan Waugh, going into his history a little bit, he is a Baalke guy. He was working with Baalke in San Francisco. He was brought into Jacksonville under Baalke because he was someone who could help him and was not going to most likely have a whole lot of issues with Trent Baalke. So that's kind of how we got here. And he was really one of the only people they could have leading the organization for that period of time where they did not have a GM. And obviously Jacksonville waited on firing Trent Baalke, which made it a whole lot worse. And you eventually get to this point, right? So we're going to hear a lot of news probably in the coming days and maybe the coming month of a lot of changes being made, probably a lot of scouts that are going, some maybe staying, different positions maybe being built within the organization. We've heard of some already. If you listen to Mike Silver's report on The Athletic, he went into some of the things that Jacksonville was kind of changed already and how their process worked during the draft season and specifically over draft weekend. It's a great read. If you have not read it, I highly recommend you do, even if you got to pay like a free trial or like, I guess, I don't know if it costs a little bit to get like a couple days on The Athletic, but it's a really good read. They gave him full access to the war room. So he got to see a lot of things that were happening, right? And we heard a lot of, who they liked and who they were trying to draft where and all that. And one of the things that was specifically mentioned in that, going back to it with Ethan Waugh, he was not present at any point. He was not discussed. He was not there making decisions in that green room with the other guys. So this is not shocking. This is the way things were going to go. It was clear that this was just not going to really be a great fit. And shout out to Ethan Waugh for at least helping make the right decision in this process. I'm sure he wished he was the general manager. Totally understand that. But, he stuck it out with the team. We appreciate that. This isn't some terrible guy, right? We can be upset with what Trent Baalke did in his time in Jacksonville. But, I think Ethan Waugh, well, I don't think he was the best option for this job, at least served out his time well. And, hopefully he'll get a shot somewhere else in the NFL here soon. So, just a quick video on that. Wanted to discuss it. We'll see if any other moves are made here soon for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But with that said, gonna shout out our channel members: Premier Seer 904, Nightmare Eco, Gator John Bites, Ichi Wiener, Mr. Dolphin, Scrubber Ducky 500, Brian Foster, and Frangies. Thank you guys so much for watching. Even if it's just a real quick one here, let me know your thoughts, and finally, go Jags.